There is a debate inside the Welsh Parliament today on asylum and refugees and scrapping the nation of sanctuary, and this was brought forward by Reform UK. It is perfectly legitimate for Reform as the opposition to question public spending. It is literally their job. But when you talk about refugees and asylum seekers, it's really important that those discussions and those conversations are rooted in reality and based on facts. So let's start with the numbers. Right now, there are 3,308 people awaiting their asylum application decision in Wales. That is about 0.1% of Wales's population, and if you were to put them all into Merthyr Town's football ground, it would still be a quarter empty. So it's probably worth mentioning first why there are so many people now trying to come to the UK, and the ultimate reason is conflict, and the amount of conflicts around the world has gone up massively. According to the International Committee of the Red Cross, there are 130 armed conflicts involving 60 countries and 120 non-state armed groups ongoing worldwide at the moment. That is a record, and it's double the number of wars that we had 15 years ago. So let's talk about what an asylum seeker in Wales would actually get. While you're awaiting the decision on your asylum application, you get housed by the Home Office. And the Home Office says you are not allowed to work. You're not allowed to work if you are an asylum seeker in Wales. So there's a basic payment of £49.18 a week per person. £7 a day, and that is to cover food, toiletries, non-prescription medication, clothing, footwear, travel. All of that has to come out of that £49 a week. If you're a pregnant mother or have a child aged 0 to 3, you get an extra £5 a week, and if you have a baby under 1, you get an extra £9.50 a week. There are occasions where accommodation will actually provide meals for an asylum seeker, and if this does happen, the amount that asylum seeker gets drops to £9.95 a week. They are not getting a large amount of money. In fact, it's really hard for them to get even the very basic necessities. So a lot of attention has been put on asylum seekers being housed inside hotels, but in Wales that just really isn't happening. So of the 3,000 asylum seekers in Wales, only 100 of them are currently housed within a hotel. Let me give you an example of what happens if someone's asylum application is granted. Once someone has refugee status, they have 42 days to find a place to live and secure their own form of income. Many people in the UK who've lived there all their life would find it really hard to do that from a standing start. So one contentious issue is that people get frustrated at the perception that people who are refugees are prioritised when it comes to housing. But actually, this isn't how it works. Once someone gains refugee status or is given leave to remain, they are just treated on the waiting list the same as everyone else. The fact they're a refugee has no bearing on it. From 2019 to 2025, about £64 million has been spent on the nation of sanctuary. 58 million of that, or 91% of the total spending, has been spent on Ukrainian refugees, or specifically paying people in Wales to house Ukrainian refugees. The other 4 million has been spent on helping refugees integrate into Wales, so it might help them into education or to work or learn English or Welsh. That is only 0.05% of the Welsh Government budget over that period. You can be annoyed about the spending, but let's not pretend that cutting it would have any meaningful difference to public services in Wales. We've done a special report on this inside my newsletter, which is called the Will Hayward Newsletter. Let's debate from the point of view of facts and reality. Thanks.